Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, buckaroos and buckarettes, men and women, transgenders and people in transition, fellow travelers and communicants, sketchfesters, and otherwise visitors to San Francisco, and the two poorly disguised FBI agents in the back of the room. I bid you welcome. As you may have heard, Dave and the girl on our team had amazing... This is where you are deficient. No, sit. This is deficient in where you... it indicates utterly the fact that my indication that Maria is, of course, of the female distaff side immediately indicates that our team has superior intellectual power and that our argument is both omnipresent, omniscient, and will fuck you hard. Here we go. The proposition that this country has become smarter in the recent past is at once offsetting and difficult in its consummation, and that one takes upon this proposition with some trepidation and thinks to oneself, my goodness, how does one argue that America has become smarter in light of the fact that the Kardashian family is inordinately famous, and that when they're very hairy, there's no question of that. There's not enough depilatory in the world. You could drop a depilatory neutron bomb on their compound, and when they take a shower, it's like a Zach Galifianakis reunion concert. My point is this. I didn't say all of the jokes were going to be at the highest caliber. And that in the recent past, so many awful things have happened. I will say this. The last election that we had, the midterm election, where the Congress was replenished with white people, difficult sauce that one is to ingest. This new Congress, I haven't seen this many ugly white people in one place since Gerald Ford's funeral. Gerald Ford was, of course, president briefly during the 70s. The last election was full of chicanery, biliousness, bilkery, and absolute poltroonery and buffoonery. It was, in fact, a charade of an election. I haven't seen an election this dazzlingly rigged since Bush was elected twice as president. It informed me that I was afraid that Haiti might invade us to install a democracy in the near future. Now we know what Italy feels like every year. Who won the election? Somebody wins, somebody loses, crazy time. Are you gonna count all the votes? You count some, you count another, you get a winner, it's okay. Get out of my way, I don't use my brake, beep beep. Here is my evidence that America has become smarter. Let us take you back some several years to the first time our previous president to Obama, Caligula, was president. And yes, we're lucky he didn't appoint a horse to the Senate before he absconded away to his ranch. You may remember Dick Cheney was president for 8 years. And Dick Cheney, of course, was the man who appeared at Christmas time last year to tell us that if he had a chance to rectal force feed people, he'd do it again in a minute. Merry Christmas, everyone. We have rejected those policies, and in that sense, I feel we are smarter. When Obama ran for president the first time, he ran against an American war hero, John McCain, the captain of the Mayflower. And he was rejected, and Black Jesus was elected as our president. For a lot of white people in this room, voting for Obama was a very profound experience. It was like helping that black friend you don't have. It's like going to Whole Foods and finding that perfect yogurt. This one will absolutely change my life. Then, in the subsequent election, Obama was reelected, and he ran against Mitt Romney, who, as many of you may remember, was a member of the higher 1%. Mitt Romney was a very wealthy person who wanted to relate to human beings and actually, like Pinocchio, wanted to be a real boy. Mitt Romney would come on television. He's recently taken himself out of the new election, which of the next election, which to me indicates a smartening of the American electorate. In the last election, you may remember Mitt Romney would come on telly and go, hey, everybody, golly, gee whiz. Here in San Francisco, gee willikers. I understand people here like breathing in ice cream. Me too. Look. Just like you, I'm a person. We've learned so many things in the last few years, and that's what makes more intelligence in America extant. We have learned that after Missouri and Ferguson and Eric Garner in New York and Michael Brown in Missouri, that the police are not exactly imperative to our safety. When the New York police turned their backs on the mayor of New York and did not participate in being police for several weeks, the crime went down in New York. I'm all for the New York Police Department exerting their power. Next time, I wish they would exert their power against the bankers of this country. If the people who ran AIG and Shearson Lehman and all those companies had to face the NYPD, I am all for it. Let me put it this way. Everyone in America has learned over the last few months that no black teenager in this country has ever ruined the economy of America. That black teenagers are only allowed to do what they may do, and the crowd has gone quiet. There are two Americas existing simultaneously in this country. One America that we live in here in the gay / Bay Area, and that is we believe in things like global warming and science, evolution, the idea that women are people, that gay people should be allowed to get married, that guns aren't the solution to every problem, that carrying a rifle into a Chipotle might not be the most evocative demonstration of Jeffersonian freedom, and that marijuana isn't necessarily a bad thing at all times. And then there's the other part of the country, the dumber part of the country that believes 4,000 years ago, our Lord Jesus Christ rode a triceratops to a gun show so he could buy an AK-47 to shoot a married faggot who was about to perform an abortion. I believe that America is getting smarter for these very reasons. When an abortion is as easy to obtain as a firearm in this country, I will believe that America has finally achieved the attitude that we need to embrace. The rest of you may applaud furtively, since I smell Fremont in the house here tonight. In conclusion, as I say, I've listened to the other team with some bemusement, much as if a monkey had learned to sign language. America is indeed smarter, and there is no question of that. How do I know this? One, Mitt Romney has dropped out of the race, and Sarah Palin has abjectly, voluntarily taken herself out of the race with her recent speech that she gave, where she was as elusive as your aunt is after 2 glasses of pink wine at a Christmas dinner. And said, you know, the lamestream media is like a Mexican riding down the road to win World War II against the French. In conclusion, I felt that I had already concluded, and I don't think it's inappropriate to conclude twice against a team that has provided very little conclusion other than a speaking raccoon in a movie, which I felt only really spoke to the American psyche, in so much as not only is speaking raccoon in a movie an indication that we are willing to accept lower mammals as our equals, but if anyone has ever had intercourse, and I mean social intercourse, with a raccoon, you'll find that raccoons are infinitely smarter than human beings, in so much as you can yell at them and shout at them and shine a light at them, and they will still flip a garbage can like a frisbee across your lawn in blatant disregard of your needs, and I thank you.